Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Farhan, also known as Gunner since 96, and you're watching another video here on my YouTube channel. That was a very weird introduction. For those of you that are new, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you all here. If you're looking for Arsenal content, well, you've come to the right place. Do consider subscribing because I release a video every single day talking about the best club in the universe. Maybe not right now, but certainly will be and are on our way. I like to think so anyway. We're here talking about some latest updates, news surrounding Arsenal, surrounding the club, the training ground, etc. So I don't know, I just feel like this week there hasn't been, other than the Saliba saga, there really hasn't been anything too interesting to talk about. But look, there are some notable things to mention, things, achievements to be celebrated, and things to look forward to in the future, in the near future. So let's start off by the latest rumours surrounding Arsenal re-signing Aaron Ramsey. This isn't a big one for me because I haven't found any reputable sources surrounding the re-signing of Aaron Ramsey. I know that Juventus are looking to offload a number of their top star players. I know Matuidi is moving. I know they're trying to get rid of, I think Higuain is moving as well. Ramsey is a possibility because obviously the COVID situation and the crisis in the football industry has led to clubs forcing to sell, forcing to get players off their wage bill because fans aren't coming in, because financially they've been absolutely broken, like most clubs in and around Europe, and you have to feel sorry for them. So the question is, if Juventus want to get rid of Aaron Ramsey, who has done really well, by the way, at Juventus, he's won a league title there, he's started regularly for them, he's a regular starter, he's a first team player, one of their trusted midfielders as well. The question is, if they offload him, where is he going to go off to? There are heavy rumours that are linking him to Tottenham Hotspurs, who fashionably got knocked out of the FA Cup last night. They will, however, be playing in a cup final against City in the coming weekend. We all know how that's going to end. It's quite embarrassing how they've released finalist things to buy from their shop, like key rings and pens and stuff. If League Cup, Carabao Cup finalists, yeah, a bit desperate. Times are getting desperate for Tottenham. But look, my feelings towards Aaron Ramsey returning to Arsenal is one of mixed feelings. I get the idea that he's a great ex-player. He has a lot of attributes. He has a lot of abilities. He plays for one of the top clubs in Europe. He's definitely a good player. I mean, if you have him in your squad, he's definitely going to at least get on the bench. That's for certain. And when he comes on, you know he's a player that is an impact player that changes the dimension of the game, and he has the ability to unlock opposition defenses, get players in to attacking areas. He's almost like a box to box, and it's funny because ever since Ramsey left, Arsenal's midfield has collapsed in itself, and he was really the bright spark that allowed us to tick in that midfield area in the middle. I think ever since Partey has come in, we've filled in that gap more so. But the harsh reality is that he's turning 31 in December. He is in the latter period of his career. He will be on the decline, whether you like it or not. The level of fitness won't be there. Whether he's able to cope with the relentlessness and the pressure and the intensity of the Premier League is, for me, questionable. And this idea that, bringing back an ex-player who has done really, really well is going to somehow turn our season around, or not our season around necessarily, but transform the squad, is a false narrative, for all the right reasons. I mean, Ramsey left because we didn't want to give him the contract that he wanted. I think it was a 300k excess a week contract, which was far too high. If we're looking to sign him on, it will be 220k contract, and he'll want something big for his last contract. So in terms of Ramsey coming to the Emirates, I think it's slim chances. I think if we do, then we're moving backwards than moving forwards. I really do believe that in football generally, now is the era of creating superstars rather than buying them. With the COVID situation that's going on, with this next generation of kids that are coming through, like Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, like Sancho, Reece Nelson, Oxford, just young players in the Championship, in the lower leagues, in Germany, everywhere around the world that are just coming out of their shells. These are the next generation of players that we should be looking to sign young, develop them, turn them into superstars, and hopefully they stay at Arsenal and win a bagload of trophies. But it seems that Arsenal are going for the latter of buying players that are in their decline, or maybe that's a bit harsh, maybe to say they're in their highest heights. What's the actual correct word I'm looking for? In their peak. They're in their peak, but they're approaching the decline. Similar to what we did with Mkhitaryan and Socrates. And I don't want to see that. I really want to see Arsenal take a little bit more of a dynamic approach by looking at young players. I mean, I mentioned Watkins in the last video, and I truly believe that he would be the perfect striker for Arsenal. Look at Bamford at Leeds. Look at the kid at Bournemouth. I forgot his name. But I mean, there are other options there, surely. And I don't think Arsenal necessarily need to be looking at Ramsey as a player to sign. But moving on, we'll find out a lot more of that in the summer. And onto some good news that happened, that's happening in and around the club. The youngsters are flourishing, and we're seeing that in the accolades, in the accomplishments that they're making. Bukayo Saka has won Player of the Month for Arsenal once again. That's back to back. He got it in December and he got it in January as well, and I couldn't be more pleased for him. I think this young man has transformed as a player. He has gone from one level to another in spectacular fashion, and he has been the beacon, the bright light that Arsenal have so desperately been searching for throughout the course of the season. Especially him and Emil Smith-Rowe as together as a partnership have, I would argue, single-handedly carried us to winning games, or to definitely creating opportunities for us to win games. And I think teams have sussed out now who Arsenal's real danger man is. At the beginning of the season, it was Aubameyang, who was being isolated out of the games, who was being hacked at. Now I think teams realise that if you isolate Saka, then you've isolated a large chunk of what Arsenal can do going forward. So it'll be interesting to see how Arsenal approach that situation, especially going up against Leeds, who like to wind us up. Already winding us up this morning, Bamford talking about Alioski, looking forward to the game because he gets to play with his old mate Pepe. We know what happened last game at Ellen's Road. it's going to be a feisty affair. It's going to be a meaty game. It's going to be an interesting game of football to watch. And I will be releasing a tactical analysis video tomorrow on them. But look, in terms of Bukayo Saka, the kid just needs to continue working hard. He's still 19 years old. He's still got so much progression, so much football to play, and so much more to learn, I would argue, as well. And I can only hope that given this, getting this Player of the Month award just increases his confidence and the ability to do more on the pitch as well. Moving on to the Europa League, which is just around the corner. Can you believe it? I think after the Leeds game is the Europa League. Let me just double check that, because I know the first leg, which is due to be played in Rome. Yeah, it's after the Leeds game. It's on the 18th. It is literally a week away. It's a week today. It's next Thursday, and a game that I'm really, really looking forward to watching. And we found out that Arsenal and Benfica came to a mutual agreement to play the game at a neutral venue in Rome. So at Stadio Olimpico, we played there before. We beat Rome in the last 16, I think, before being knocked out by Liverpool in the Champions League, which was a painful defeat to take after the performance that we had put in, and that amazing run by Theo Walcott to tie up Adebayor. Memories. But yeah, Arsenal have come to an agreement that they'll play Stadio Olimpico in the first round, in the first leg, which is supposed to be the away leg. And then their home leg, which Arsenal removed from their website, they announced it and then immediately removed it, is due to be held in Greece. And the reason why they removed it is because Greece could potentially be in a lockdown by the time that game comes around, and so that might pose issues and problems. And look, the reason why the teams, the clubs have decided to go to a neutral ground is to avoid the I always forget this word, isolation period, because of the COVID and travel ban restrictions. And do I see any problems occurring from this? Potentially, with Arsenal travelling in the first round and in the away leg, they were always going to travel in the away leg. So, it doesn't really change much there. If anything, it's a shorter journey to Italy and then back. But then we play Burnley on the 6th and... No, we play Man City on the 21st, and then 4 days later, we then go back to playing Benfica. And if it is in Greece, we play them, and then we have to travel back. 3 days later, we've got an away game at Leicester. That's where I see the problems occurring. A lot of travel, a lot of jet lag, a lot of intense football being played. We're playing against Benfica, which is a difficult side to play. And if you're thinking about how players are going to react to travel and playing football on that intense sort of level, how they're going to recover when we've got to play City before the game and then Leicester after the game. Two very, very difficult games in the Premier League. And look, we need to, our form needs to turn around in the Premier League if we're going to get a decent, respectable, well, not respectable, but if we can finish as high as possible, the points need to be picked up in and around these games. And so I worry at the potential team lineup, and I know we there are shortcomings in certain positions like left back, right back, whether we have the strongest team, the strongest group of players to be able to play those games. Benfica, City, Benfica and Leicester. 4 tough games, and not to mention the Leeds game as well, which we've had a lot of times to rest, over a week to rest and recover players. So that'll be interesting. And finally, another piece of news that came out a couple of days ago regarding Mikel Arteta and a potential contract extension. A few quiet rumours going around social media. Nothing, again, too legitimate to take from that. But it seems that the Arsenal higher-ups are looking into the future. I'm not actually sure. I should have done my research before I came on and started blabbering. But I'm not actually sure what his current contract is, whether it's a 3-year, 4-year. I'm not too sure. But for the news to come out that Arsenal are thinking about offering Arteta a contract extension, it shows that they clearly believe in the process that, you know, most fans aren't believing in, or some fans definitely aren't believing in. And the process in which that, you know, he's developing a style of football, he's developing a philosophy at Arsenal. It shows that the higher ups are, you know, happy with the direction that he's taken Arsenal in. What do I think? Do I think Arteta deserves a contract extension? I don't think he should be offered a contract extension just yet. I think give him, after the summer transfer window, let's say the first 10 games of next season, review the situation then. And then whether we're in a good position or not, offer him a contract. But I think now's a bad time, considering, you know, the COVID situation, and the COVID situation has a big part to play in all this, because number one, it's disrupting football all around the world. Number two, financially, I don't know whether, I mean, it could be a smart move for Arsenal to offer him a contract which might not be as substantial as it may be in a normal environment. But I still think to play your cards close to your chest and to see it out, see what happens. He's not going to go anywhere. He clearly doesn't want to go anywhere. He's got a long-term project here at Arsenal that he's focusing on, and I think until you can see a substantial difference, which for me is getting out the majority or the rest of the deadwood and getting in the players in, getting everyone to focus on one style of football, seeing that being replicated on the pitch and getting the results, until we see that, there is no need to offer Arteta a contract extension, because it sways away from a little bit, or it does sway away a little bit from what we're trying to achieve here. I mean, essentially offering a contract extension is saying that, well done, you're doing a great job, keep it up. And I don't want anybody to get it in their brains, into their heads, that what Arsenal are doing right now, where we are right now, is in a good position, because it's not. And I don't want these standards to be normalised. I would rather the pressure be put on Arsenal, the club, the board members, the coaches. I would rather the fan base continuously show their disapproval for where we are, so that everybody remembers that Arsenal Football Club does not deserve and should not be anywhere near the places where we are. But at the same time, we understand that, you know, this is a transition, this is a process. It's normal for a club to be separated from its manager after 20 plus years, for a club to be going through this type of turbulent period. We've seen it at United, they're still going through it, and some may argue that Arsenal are dealing with it far better than United did, having spent over £1 billion in investment and only to win 3 trophies in the number of years since Ferguson left. For me, it's pretty piss poor. So I'm quite happy with the way that things are going right now. And I understand, like I said, things are looking to change, looking to get better, and we can see that clearly displayed in the style of football and in the decisions that are being made. The majority of the decisions that are being made, let's put it like that. That's it. That's all the news update that I've got for Arsenal, what's going in and around the club. Like I said, I will be back tomorrow with another video talking about the Leeds game, looking into the Leeds team, the tactics, the strengths and weaknesses. That'll be really interesting for me personally to talk about and to have a look into. Once again, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel, all the kind words. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And look, if you're an Arsenal fan and if you're looking for more Arsenal content, do consider subscribing to the channel, because I release a piece of content every single day. And hit that bell notification as well to be notified every time I release a video. But like I said, I'll be back tomorrow again for another video. Until then, stay home, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.